General Hospital spoilers. Monica's shocking legacy rocks Port Charles. Drew is left destroyed. The residents of Port Charles are no strangers to heartbreak, betrayal, and secrets buried deep in the past. But nothing could prepare them, or loyal General Hospital viewers, for the explosive chain of events set into motion when Monica Quartermain's long-protected legacy comes to light. This isn't just a story about an old will or a sentimental memento. It's a revelation that rewrites the Quartermain family's history, shatters Drew Kane's sense of self, and sets in motion a war for the soul of the Q Empire. By the time the dust settles, relationships will be torn apart, Drew's world will crumble, and Port Charles will be left reeling from the legacy Monica leaves behind. It begins quietly, almost tenderly. The episode opens with the Quartermain mansion bathed in the soft light of early morning. Tracy is already in the study, pouring herself the day's first coffee, when a courier arrives with an envelope marked simply. The handwriting is unmistakable. Monica's elegant script, forever steady, even in her later years. Tracy's hands tremble slightly as she takes the envelope, and for a moment, she hesitates. Monica is still alive, but everyone knows her health has been fragile. Had she planned for this moment, knowing her time might be near? When the rest of the family gathers, Ned, Brooklyn, Olivia, Michael, and even Lois, the envelope is opened. Inside is a letter, sealed in thick ivory paper and a small brass key. Monica's voice, via a recording, plays in the background. If you're hearing this, it means I've chosen now to tell you the truth about what I've kept hidden for decades. This is not about guilt. This is about love and making sure the right person carries on the Quartermain legacy. Her words are careful, deliberate, but laced with an almost unbearable weight. She instructs them to open the lockbox in the attic, one that no one has touched in over 30 years. Up in the attic, the family crowds around as Drew uses the key to open the box. Inside are old photographs, letters, and, shockingly, legal documents bearing signatures of Edward Quartermain and Alan Quartermain, alongside the name of a child the family never knew existed. The first twist? Monica reveals that before Jason, there was another son. One she and Alan gave up for adoption under circumstances shrouded in scandal. But here's the second, even bigger shock. That child is connected directly to Drew Kane. Through a tangled explanation, Monica reveals that years before Drew's kidnapping and the memory mapping debacle, she learned he was not just Jason's twin, but the biological child of her long-lost son, making Drew her grandson. At first, Drew thinks he's mishearing. That doesn't even make sense, he says, his voice low and sharp. He's spent years piecing together fragments of his identity, thinking he finally understood where he came from. Now Monica is telling him he's not the twin brother of Jason in the traditional sense. He's Jason's nephew. The room spins. Drew's hands clench. All those moments, he felt the Quartermains only saw Jason as the real son come flooding back. So all this time, I wasn't really your son. I wasn't even your second choice. I was just some leftover bloodline you kept in your back pocket. His voice cracks, and for a moment, no one knows what to say. Even Tracy, usually unflappable, looks shaken. Monica's recorded voice continues in the background, explaining that she tried to protect Drew by keeping the truth hidden, fearing that revealing the truth would destroy him. Ironically, it's the very act of keeping the secret that's destroying him now. Then comes the part that turns the room from stunned silence into all-out chaos. Monica's will, updated quietly months before, includes a legacy clause. The Quartermain estate, including Yelku voting shares, will pass not to Jason, not to Ned, and not to Michael, but to her, biological heir of the firstborn Quartermain son. By that definition, Drew, as the child of Monica's long-lost firstborn, is entitled to everything. Gasps erupt. Tracy's coffee cup clatters against the table. Ned's face drains of color. Michael's jaw tightens. The fallout is immediate. For the first time in years, Yelku's future is uncertain. What happens next is the kind of raw family warfare GH fans crave. Tracy wastes no time accusing Drew of manipulating Monica in her final years. insisting he must have found out and coerced her into rewriting the will. Olivia tries to calm her, but the accusations are already flying. Brooklyn, surprisingly, stands up for Drew, pointing out that if Monica made this decision, it was because she wanted Drew to have the Quartermaine name in more than just an honorary sense. Michael is silent, his expression unreadable, but it's clear he's calculating the corporate implications. And Drew? He doesn't even care about the money or the power. He's too busy grappling with the gut-wrenching realization that every relationship he's built in Port Charles was based on a false identity. In the days that follow, Drew withdraws from nearly everyone. Sam tries to reach him, reminding him that the man he is hasn't changed, but Drew can't hear it. He feels like a stranger in his own skin, and worse, like an interloper in the Quartermaine family. He starts missing YLQ meetings, dodging calls, and even skips out on Scout's school recital. When Carly tracks him down at the Haunted Star, drinking alone, she urges him to fight for Monica's legacy rather than run from it. If you walk away now, you're not protecting Monica's memory. You're letting her be erased, she tells him. But Drew's response is bitter. Maybe erasing me is exactly what she should have done a long time ago. Just when it seems Drew is about to disappear for good, an unlikely ally steps in, Jason. Jason, who has barely spoken to Drew since returning to Port Charles, seeks him out. He admits that Monica told him about the possibility of Drew's true parentage months earlier, and that he urged her to tell Drew sooner. Jason's message is simple. You're my family. Blood, no blood. It doesn't matter. Monica loved you. You can either believe that or let this tear you apart. For the first time since the revelation, Drew's eyes soften. But the pain doesn't vanish. Meanwhile, Tracy and Ned rally their forces to challenge the will in court, claiming Monica was not of sound mind when she changed it. A corporate war brews, and suddenly Drew finds himself in the very position Monica wanted, at the center of the Quartermaine power struggle. The legal battle promises to drag on for weeks, with family members forced to choose sides. Even Brooklyn feels the strain as Chase questions why she's defending Drew so fiercely. The emotional peak comes when Drew finally visits Monica at the hospital. She's awake, though frail, and the two share a private conversation that rips through every defensive wall Drew has built. Monica takes his hand and whispers, "I didn't leave you my legacy because of blood, Drew. I left it because you've lived your life with integrity, something this family needs more than ever. You are my son, in every way that counts." Tears fill Drew's eyes as he realizes that despite the lies, despite the confusion, Monica's love was real. As the storyline moves forward, expect a brutal YLQ board showdown that pits Drew and Brooklyn against Tracy and Ned. Carly stepping in as Drew's public defender in the press, reigniting her feud with Tracy. Jason caught in the middle, trying to keep the family from imploding. A surprise return connected to Monica's long-lost son, a face from the past who could either support Drew's claim or destroy it entirely. Monica's shocking legacy doesn't just rewrite Drew's identity, it forces him to confront every insecurity he's ever buried. While the Quartermaine family erupts into chaos, Drew will have to decide whether to embrace the legacy Monica left him or let it slip away forever. And in true GH fashion, the final scenes of this arc will leave viewers gasping, a mysterious figure watching the Quartermaine mansion from the shadows, a hint that Monica's firstborn may not be as absent or as dead as everyone believes.